Guys, be very intentional with what you think you want. Because at the end of the day, if you don't get what you want and it's not actually your fault, it can still be your problem. Easily. Easily. I'm going to use three solid examples. I have more to use, to be honest, Gilgamesh style, Ben 10 style, but I'm going to work at only three examples. This this Unihertz Tank Mini 1, okay? You see me compared to Mackena MacLean before. We'll walk with that many time if we have time. But more than Mackena, more my goddaughter is concerned. This is still a device that can break down just like any other device. Kind of like Apple, kind of like Android. This has Android on it anyways. The other one, the Titan I have with me, is like a BlackBerry with Android software. But the Tank Mini, one of the very first things they tell you about the Tank Mini is that it can charge other devices other than itself. Which comes really in handy when you consider that, oh no, lately, the touchscreen module broke down because of malware I got from listening to philosophy. I mentioned in the other Mackena MacLean video. But the thing was that even with all the device broke down, does it make it like a solid block and just hit people with FCC dysregulating? No. I mean, it's funny because I have a layer on it and it even has a heavy density to it. That would be fun, not gonna lie. The bad guys with it, no. But seriously, do I ruin the rangefinder and the flashlight mod just because it doesn't work right now? Maybe not so much, but it still is a device. And I'm gonna probably push this for like 7.5 minutes or 8 minutes. This is still a smartphone device. Now, considering that the screen wouldn't turn on at first, that was a little annoying to see how much I charge with. Oh, it has a big battery, by the way. So it can charge other devices still, and you can tell that it's still alive, so to speak, kind of like a car with quantum physics, quantum mechanics at that point, or even law meditation. But this device can still work to do things that if you have a good attitude, if you have the right attitude, if you have the best attitude about it, it can cause other things to be good, and not just, oh, it's a dumb phone. You know what doesn't allow you to fix itself? Apple. The iPhone, you have to always get like a repair crew all the time. You get the kits and the shit, and the licensors for people who need to fix your shit. And I'm not going to play licensor right now. That's actually the best third example in the meantime. So this Tank Mini 1 could still function, even though its touchscreen couldn't work, and it couldn't turn on easily. And then later on, while I was charging devices over and over for a good day or two, then the screen would turn on. It wouldn't turn on data or info, but it would still turn on the light on the front of the screen. So I could tell it was still working easily, and that it would be charging things. Easy. Healthy attitude, healthy spirit, right? Oh, look at that. It still turned on its own way. Or maybe even better in the future. Well, I'm still holding on to that stupid touchscreen shit, it's fine. But example number 2 of why you should make sure you know what you actually want. But not being too hard on yourself if you don't get what you want. So, the buggy cars from Europe, especially the Trizzy J's, I mean the Tristan McDonald's, I mean the Bell McDonald's, I mean whatever, okay, never mind. There are Trizzy cars in Europe that you can drive that are very fun if you're allowed to drive a car there. And I'm not going to say, hey, you know why the cars in Europe are so fun? It's because you don't need one. That's because driving a car in Europe is illegal. No, I'm not going to be that dumb about it. I'm not going to spread misinformation about Europe. Because Jordan Green would kick my ass about that. Jordan Blue would kick my ass. Jordan Yellow, Jordan, no other color that's racist. Jordan knows who I am. I'm not going to make that look bad anyways. But it'd be as down bad as comparing Ice Cold JT to Caster from Fate Zero. It'd actually be that bad. But yeah, I just Trizzy cars are fun. If you compare kind of like the Tank Mini and the Unihertz Titan, which I'm sponsoring again for some reason, after all these years, it's like imagine having the Tank Mini 1 and the Unihertz Titan paired up the whole time without actually touching each other. That's what it would be like having a Trizzy double. A Trizzy double is basically a small car and another small car looks similar to it. In Europe, driving around me like, right side lane, left side lane, right side seat. And then you're like, okay, now I pair these cars with electric and diesel and gas and maybe just mostly electric. It'd be that fun. Driving in Europe is fun if you want to drive a car. And even if driving in Europe is illegal, you can still make it work. Jordan doesn't be that weird about it, but I mean, I'm not going to judge his criticism that weirdly. Third example, my iPad. Now, this is a gift. And I've given Nathan Cashman a lot of crap over the years, especially recently, for things that aren't even his fault. But he gives me an iPad. He even gives me all these smartphone devices back last second because he cares about me. And even Richard would mess that up by saying, "Well, I got the phone." Richard would think, like Richard Lee Witt would think that I was asking his Hispanic self that I would only get him back these devices because I asked him for it. No, I didn't. He's very one-track minded. That boyfriend man is very one-track, and it drives me to the wall. Living with him for 5 years, seeing his business, because that's all I see when I live with him. So when he mentions the Google Pixel 5 and how he had to give it to Willie first, I'm like, that wasn't fair, Richard. You had a choice. And it's like, fake emotional context given this person, fake feelings, fake emotions that make people think they're sociopaths sometimes because they're disillusioned by the fact people, that's weird, huh? No. You have a choice. So here's the thing, guys. When you don't need a car or a driver's license or fireballs or a smartphone, what do you really have? If truth is an illusion, if truth is inherent, and you still get to be careful about how you deal with people, even if they are inherently behaving in an evil and stupid way, then what do you do about that proves it differently? I had to push for 2 more minutes anyway, so fuck it. You don't have to only be one-piece humanitarian. You don't have to only be objective about your humor and your rule following and your rule creating, okay? I was always traumatized with laws and rules trauma myself. Like, I never wanted to admire other people, not because I didn't want to be mean to them, because I knew what the difference was between, like, moral compass journeys and other things. Billy Jim Bob was never an evil villain. AJ was never a prophet or a pop star in any other eyes to begin with. He was still humbling himself to be just like everyone else and still have self-worth, right? Self-worth doesn't have to be about being selfish, and narcissism doesn't have to be about gratitude. There are people who are in jail right now who doctors think are pretending to be narcissists all over again just to stay there. And there are other idiot doctors who think that they're narcissists that pretend to be good just to get out of jail. Those doctors are narcissists themselves, right? Those doctors are narcissists for making the so-called test subject monster narcissist stay in jail. You know Crime how Crime loved that one game where he could study monsters in jail? He loves that game for a mysterious reason. And Black Lynx likes Monster Sims in general. So, if I'm comparing Black Lynx to Ray Lofton, to Mackena, MacLean, to Blockmaster, what am I really doing here? If Blockmaster is the Black Lynx, as Mackena, MacLean is the Ray Lofton Cashman, what am I doing here? I'm trying, not hiding, right? Make sure you know what you want. Now, I'm not advocating for you to be stuck in your own house like me for years on end, dealing with generational trauma, not being able to stop the bullhammer that much, and not being able to leave your house with a driver's license or a car, or even a smartphone that has all your two-factor authentications and even your other passwords and other things you have to deal with. Having an eSIM, having other things to do with your life, you know, having a job, bomb rung, not minimum wage, all that other stuff. Now, my thing, guys, is that the best thing really isn't ideal, and the right thing is a promise life is fair. I'm not going to shit on quality content that much. I'm not going to call it a cult too much. But what I want to say is, be yourself in spite of what's quality about the value of your own life. I love you guys. I love you so much.